What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Super keen today. We got another package and it's for the Renault. I think you're gonna like this one. Let's check it out. It's an air intake, and this has come all the way from K-TEC in the United Kingdom. So it took a little while to get down here, but it's an absolutely quality product. And it comes with, like, your box as well. Which we'll install just to keep everything nice and legal. Obviously that's a requirement here in South Australia. So we're going to go ahead and install this beast. Now it even comes with instructions, should be relatively bolt-on. So I guess we'll step you guys through the process on how that's going to work. And then we'll take it for a spin. Okay, so here's what we're dealing with. This is the part we're going to be replacing today. So we've got to get this out. Now to get this out, we've actually got to remove the battery box. So that's going to be removing this, removing the battery from the box, and then actually removing the whole box, and that'll give us access to the stock air intake, air filter, whatever you want to call it, wherever you're from. And then once that's out, we just need to pop in our new one, pop the battery box and the battery back in. Hopefully we should be okay there. I think we need to pull a couple of sensors as well based on the instructions that we've got. We're just going to hop straight into it. We know that this is the first step. We're just going to go from there. So let's get into it. Okay, so the battery box is gone. Now what we've done is we've just removed this screw here. We're just gonna loosen this one up. This should hopefully pop out after that. So we're gonna loosen this one up now and see how we go. Okay, here we go. Right, here is the pipe that the old air filter was connected to, the K&N one. It's pretty cool, these came stock with a K&N lifetime air filter. So that is what our new one here will connect to. That's just going to connect straight in here, or that's the idea. Oh, look at that, perfect fit. So we're going to install that, then we're going to install the box. I think we've got to install the box. Look, it came with these instructions, pretty cool. Looks like we install the box first. So box first, using the same sort of mounting points that the original air intake was mounted to. So let's install the box first before we put the filter in. Okay, so here's what we've got. If you can take a look at that, it's quite nice. That's the box that the new air filter will sit in. So we've got to install this first before we put the filter in. There's a little sort of stalk thing, mounting point on the bottom here. If you can kind of see it, there you go. That's going to go into the old rubber fitting that the old air filter was stuck into. I'll give you guys a quick look at that. Just there. So that's where it's going to go into. And then there's one at the back here as well. I don't know how you can see that, but that's where the other end's going to mount into. So let's go ahead and pop that in. Okay, after a bit of persuasion, we've got the box in place. So there's the bottom bit that we showed before, the little stalk that's going to go the rubber grommet down the bottom. This little bit is going through the little hole on the side of the box here and going into the rubber grommet at the back. So these three pieces will all meet up here when we're ready to screw it in, and they'll mount to this point here where the old mounting point for the old air intake was. But before we do that, we've actually got to put the air filter in there, make sure everything lines up first. So that's what we're going to do now. Oh, that's hot. So that's in now. We're just going to tighten this little clamp up, and then there's a little mounting point on the intake here. If it'll focus, there we go. And there's a screw needs to go through this little hole here into the mounting point before this can all go onto this here, making it all tight. So we've got like maybe 1-2 screws left to go and a clamp to tighten up before we put in the whole battery box again and the battery. Okay, good news, battery box back in. That was really tough to get back in. We've got to make sure we didn't squeeze any of these wires and everything's up the top where it should be. So that is at least promising. Bad news, the 14mm socket that I used to screw in the bolts here, yeah, that's gone forever. I've dropped it into the car, and because this thing is full of plastic, it didn't drop down the bottom. I'll show you. Down the bottom of the car, it's just all plastic, all plastic. So that's stuck in there forever. There's no way we're going to get that out unless we pull the engine out. So we're going to count our losses, and we're just going to keep going. Oh, gee, I tell you what, it might not have seemed so watching the video, but that was by far the hardest modification I've ever done to any of my cars ever. But gee, 4 hours later, and it looks so good now. We're going to take for a bit of a spin and see how it sounds and see how it performs and see if there's any sort of noticeable difference. The website, K-TEC, says that there should be about 11 horsepower increase. You usually won't feel anything over 10 horsepower, so we'll see if there's any sort of difference. But mate, it sounds amazing, it looks awesome, it looks super tidy in there. So let's hop in and let's take it for a spin, super keen. Alright, so we're in the car. We're going to give it a quick bash around the block and see how we go. I've already given it a bit of a drive and it sounds pretty awesome, so let's see if we can get some of that noise to come through the camera. Alright, let's give this a bit of a pull. Far out. Sounds absolutely incredible. That sounds so good. Alright, let's get it out into the main road. Just some kids on the side of the road like, whoa, that sounds so cool! And it does, it sounds amazing. Look, I'm noticing the change in sound a lot more than perhaps the change in performance. So there might be something there, but the change in sound for me is, it just makes it more fun, man. Gee, far out. Man, you can hear it just sucking in the air, man. Like, it's violent, it's so good. This is so good. It sounds incredible, if anything. I'm not sure if there's any sort of performance enhancement or anything like that, but gee boy does it sound better. It sounds so incredible. So yeah, K-TEC, they say it adds about 11 horsepower. Look, it's probably not going to be too noticeable really. I'm sure maybe some people would notice it. Again, I'm noticing the change in sound more so than any sort of performance. And it just adds to the driving experience. It makes it more enjoyable, man. The more cool noises this thing can make, the better. Come on, slow person, there we go. Stop in the middle of the road, why don't you? Gotta love people like that. Yeah, so look, for all the effort it takes to install, it's actually, it's worth it. It's worth it. Puts a smile on my face even more so than what it did with just, you know, the blow off and stuff like that. It's fantastic and it sounds great. It's a good quality product. It really wasn't that hard to install. You know, you think European cars, you think, gee, that's going to be hard to install, but it was alright. It wasn't too bad once we got there. It was more so my incompetence that made the process so long. Quality products, would recommend. Go check out K-TEC, link in the description below. let's head back to the garage. Alright guys, that's it from me. Super hot here again today because it is the middle of summer still. Renault looks awesome, feels awesome, definitely not the last mod we're going to do. Stay tuned for more, don't forget to like this video, leave a comment down below of what you want to see next. Subscribe to keep up to date with all the videos including the build on the Megane and the MX-5. Guys, we'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.